Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem and Oshai Bashem Kakwadash. Giving all praises to Yahweh Shem and Oshai Bashem Kakwadash. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. And I'm going to entitle this video Destruction to the Wicked and to the Nations, 2/3 of Israel. So I'm going to get right into it. Going right into the scriptures. I'm going to open up with Deuteronomy 7, verse 23. I believe I did a word search on that. Give me a second here. Deuteronomy 7, verse 23. And I may come back to this precept and maybe read more verses in this particular chapter. So it says here, but Yahweh, thy power, not Most High Christ bless, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, but Yahweh, the true name of the Most High, and as the name of his beloved Son is Yahweh Shai, through the Holy Spirit, the Rakah Kodash. But Yahweh, thy power, thy God, shall deliver them, the Israelites, deliver them, in this case, the Canaanites, but this refers to Esau now because he's our number one enemy. Back when we left out of Egypt, we was in the wilderness for 40 years. The first enemy we were supposed to come against and utterly destroy were the Canaanites. So this applies to Esau now. The things that are written aforetime are for our learning, that we, through comfort in the scriptures, I'm merely paraphrasing, shall have hope. That's Romans, I believe that's 15, verse 5, if I'm not mistaken. So it says, so this right here doesn't apply to the Canaanites. It applies to Esau. They're the number one enemies. When you go to Psalms 83, the first name on the list of the enemies of Israel is Edom, and then the next enemy is Ishmael on the line, Moab, Ammon. So all of them are our enemies. So they're all going to bow down to us. It says, but Yahweh thy power shall deliver them to thee, and shall destroy them, and you shall destroy them with a mighty destruction until they be destroyed. So when Esau is destroyed, he's going to be utterly destroyed, meaning the land of Edom, which is America today, will be utterly destroyed, which is also known as Babylon. That place is going to be utterly destroyed, but you're going to have Edomites scattered throughout Europe and around the world, and we're going to gather the nations together, and we're going to separate each nation and put them in their lands, and we're going to be over them. That's also in Daniel chapter 7, verse 9 on down. It speaks about the rest of the nations. Matter of fact, let me go to that. It says the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. Daniel 7, verse 9. And this is a future prophecy. This part, the Ancient of Days reigns. So this is getting ready to happen in our lifetime. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. That's the Father. It's a vision of the Father, and he looked just like a black man, and he looked. His son looked like him. That's what is that? Saint John 14:8. Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His, I'm gonna look up the word pure wool real quick. So Daniel saw God Himself, God the Father, Yahweh, the supreme Yahweh. His hair was pure wool. Aymar simply means wool. Go to Google and put in the word wool. Tazamar, wool, whiteness, like whiteness meaning the color of wool, like a you want to make a garment from wool, you use the white part of the wool, and then you can dye it. Wool in what garments? Shaggy, Shaggy. You got a singer named Shaggy. He sung a song called "Wasn't Me." Then you got the precepts here. Let me see what this one says. Click on this one. Right, that goes into clothing. Leviticus 13 and 48 goes into it says whether it be in the warp or woof of linen and of woolen, whether in a skin or in anything made of skin. So when we made coats and garments, we made it out of materials, and you made coats like overcoats, as they call it. They call it over back in the days, called it an overcoat because you had your garments on, then you had maybe a light jacket under that, and then you had an overcoat. And they still use wool today because it's a warming agent. It's very warm. It insulates the heat in you. So wool. So when Daniel saw the Most High, he 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 wrote it down. Come on back. So this right here is a picture of the end of this man's system. This is for you Padawans out there. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. And there's no way I'm going to hit all these precepts. I put a lot of precepts together. Most I will, then I'll read the rest. If I don't get through them, I'll read them. I'll bring the subject up on the highways and the byways. So I just want to see what the commentators have to say about this scripture. You know, they're going to botch it up like these devils do. See how these devils get down? It said like pure wool. The imagery of this division of the book of Enoch is based largely upon that of the present passage of Daniel with the words quoted. Enoch, that's, we don't deal with Enoch. So they didn't want to even answer that. But you know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. A fire stream and the books were open. Okay. That's what I want. And the books were open. I wouldn't be surprised if they reference Revelation. Yep. And the books were opened. The books in which the deeds of men are recorded. Are recorded. In particular, the deeds of the what? Of the four beasts representing the four empires. Then it referenced you to Revelation 20, verse 12. They even go into the Apocrypha, the book of Baruch, Second Ezra 6. Right, that's this right here, Second Ezra 6, verse 20. When you read Second Ezra 6, it's talking about tokens of the last days of the end. This is how you know that you're in the end. So I'm not going to read it. The letters are small. I saw these tokens, writing signs. The books shall be open before the firmament. That means what? When did that happen? When we went on YouTube. July of 2007, we went on YouTube. Not when IUIC went on YouTube or GOCC, because they put a couple of videos up, but they wasn't teaching the people. They just put a couple of videos, and that was really to get money from the people. We actually, the Most High really opened this thing up when GMS came on the scene and did our first video, July of 2007. That's when the thing opened up. Hey, on General Nathaniel, he went back to the Ebonics, the Paleo Hebrew. Anyway, when he would do his videos, he would do a 10-minute video with Yahweh Shab. Then he would say, you'll get 10 minutes, you get part one, so to speak. And they said, come to the website and you can buy the rest of the breakdown. That's what they used to do. Okay. And I have witnesses that saw that, and they didn't even utilize the comment section of the video. So people would ask questions, and we would jump from GMS, would go on his site and answer these people their questions, because his thing was to make money. It says, and the books were open, the books in which the deeds of men are recorded, in particular the deeds of the four beasts. Right, the fourth beast is the Roman Empire, which came back as America, which is the second Roman Empire. I always go into that ad nauseum, representing the four empires. So it says here, Revelation 2, verse 12. So they're telling you that Daniel chapter 7 is referring to actually from about the 7, 8, really 9th verse, 7, 8, 9 verse on. They all agree that it's something that's getting ready to happen. They said, and I saw the dead and small and great, rich and poor. Books were open. Another book was open, which was the book of life. So they're telling you that the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, is an end time prophecy. from like I said, from the ninth verse, you can start the seventh verse, but from the ninth verse on, it's talking about prophecies that are getting ready to come to pass, that have yet to come to pass. So at least we got one so-called Christian scholar that agrees that this is an end time prophecy. But they're not going to tell you what it. They know what it is. They know it's talking about them. They don't want to put themselves in the book, but we don't know who we are. So now let me come on back. The Jews destroyed their enemies. I'm gonna go into Esther, the ninth chapter, which I'm in right now. Then I'm gonna jump to Esther, the eighth chapter, and I'm gonna go right to the last verse. I believe that's the 13th verse, because what it says that the people around about they began to keep the laws. They call themselves Jews. They didn't say, well, we're going to be Jews because it's a nice thing to be. I like their laws. No, they were scared to death of Israelites at that time because of what happened to Haman and his sons. So they said, look, we better start following what we better start kissing their asses because they wound up fucking killing us too. So let me go ahead and read the first verse. Now, in the 12th month, that is the month Adar, on the 12th day of the same month, went the king's commandment, and you're going to see that it's talking about Xerxes in the movie 300. The guy, the real tall guy, the tall guy, the leader, that was Osiris, also known as Xerxes. So that battle with the 300, that actually happened, but those Spartans, those were Lacedaemonians, those were Israelites. It says the king commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution in the day that the enemies of the Jews of Judah, because remember you only had Judah, Benjamin, Levi, so it was the kingdom of Judah, hoped to have power over them, which was Haman the Edomite, though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had, or the Judah, Yahweh, had ruled over them that hated them. So who's our number one enemy? Esau. That's in Psalms 83. And who's the enemy of Esau? Who's the top tribe? Amalek. Them JJs. Because they're demonizing us, and it's going to turn around. Yeah, this man is getting ready. This man is he's desperate now. Revelation 12 and 12. It said the Yahweh gathered himself together in their cities throughout all the province of the king Osiris, which is Xerxes, to lay hands. Niggas use that today. But that nigga laid hands on that nigga. That nigga look at me one more time. He says something shit. I'm gonna lay hands on his ass. Or they say, homeboy laid hands and put hands and feet. That means he really got his ass whipped. So that this right here show you that with Jake. It said to lay hands, put hands on a nigga. To lay hand or hands, because you don't lay one hand on somebody, you lay hands and feet on them, right? So we're gonna lay hands and feet, or put hands and feet on these other nations. Esau number one. It says, on such as sought their hurt, and no man. So it's going to be a major slaughter in this country, man. And what does Micah 5 and 7 say on down? The Most High gonna give us the power. We're gonna have the upper hand. This is what we just like we did. Like I said, when you go back to a chapter back to Esther 8 and 13, it says them people feared. It said they fear. When you look up that word fear, the definition of the word is terrified. He said we better start acting like we keeping the laws because they're gonna wind up fucking us up too. So they fear now. They fear. They fear. And they stood a great, exceeding great army. And that army is what? The army is not IUIC. Them guys marching around. That ain't the army. That ain't this is the army of Z. No, it's not. You didn't see no motherfuckers in purple marching around. Okay, that's some bullshit. But then you got you're right, brother. You deep, Ak. You're right, brother. The army is talking about all the Israelite men that are standing up and they out there on the highways and the byways. And not just GMS either. But it tells you that they don't have, some of them don't have breath. So what is the breath? To have the full knowledge of everything. That includes the name of Yahweh, the Most High, and the Son, Yahweh Shai. It said any of them that sought to do them hurt, reputation wise, physical wise. This man is not. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And no man could withstand. Ooh. So when the Most High put that power on us, we're gonna be like that train, bro. You know, we're gonna be like the juggernaut, bitch. It says that no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people. So even them other nations, they said, man, these motherfuckers. And now, like I said, there's going to be a major slaughter in this country. But what's going to, the icing on the cake is when the missiles hit. And that's an army in itself. I did that in my previous video. Isaiah 13, the 13th chapter in the NLT, the army is referring to the missiles, the ICBMs. So it said withstand. Let's go to the Hebrew and see what that means. I'm not going to hit all these precepts. What I'll do is I'll hit you with all these precepts on the highways and the byways. Okay, men could withstand. We do this. And no man could withstand them. The word here is imad, to stand, remain, endure, take one stand. To, like, you got to stand your ground law. They ain't gonna be able to stand when the Most High puts that overwhelming spirit on Jake. They're gonna roll over Esau and other nations. And they're gonna have great fear. To stand still, to tarry, delay, to make a stand, right? To make a stand. So they're gonna get rolled over. It's beautiful. It says that no one could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people, all the nations round about. And all the rulers of the provinces, and the lieutenants and the deputies and officers of the king helped the Israelites, because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater. So now it's not one man; it's Israelites, and they fear us, man. That's why you think you got all these Christians. They find, well, they down here on such a street and so street. Let me go down there and show them that the Lord came for everybody. And then they always lose, man. Vocab is played out. Fifth verse. Thus the Israelites, Yahweh, or the southern kingdom, smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword. That means they were killing them, and slaughter and destruction, and did what they would unto them that hated them. Who's the first on the list in our Psalms 83? You tell me. So now I'm gonna pull some words out. I'll pull some words out. Thus the Israelites, or Yahweh, smote. Let's look up the word smote. And this is going to happen again. Micah 5 and 7. And the word there is nakah, to strike, smite, hit, beat, or beat down, slay, kill, to be stricken or smitten, to be on a physical level, to be stricken or smitten, to smite, kill, beat, scourge, meaning whip, clap, applaud. In other words, you're going to be enjoying yourself while you're doing it. Give a thrust, to smite, kill, slay, man or beast, to smite, attack, and destroy, conquer. The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, shall conquer the kingdom, and possess it forever and ever. It shall not be left unto other people. Daniel 2, you can start at the 40th verse, is around about the 40th verse. The kingdom shall not be left to other people. Captured. So we're gonna have concubines among the Edomite daughters. To be belighted. To be smitten, to be attacked and captured, to be beaten, to be wounded, to receive a blow or blows. So this is it's not going to end well for you devils, man. Matter of fact, let me come back to Daniel 7. Right, the Son of Man presented, which is Yahweh Shai. '18 verse. But the saints, which are the Israelites of the Most High, shall take the kingdom. Whose kingdom? Esau's kingdom. And possess the kingdom forever, even forever and forever. So we're never going to go down. Everlasting kingdom. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast. Right, this is the second leg of the fourth beast. So when you go to, actually, it's in Esther 8, verse 17, where it says, matter of fact, I'm going to go to it. They didn't just wake up one morning, oh, I think I'm going to follow the Lord's statutes and Most High. No. It says, Esther 8, verse 17, and in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the kingdom of Judah, Yahweh, had joy and gladness, a feast. So this day is not a Purim, is not a Sabbath. It's a feast day. You know, a feast and a good day, and many of the people of the land became what? There's a difference between Jew here and Jew there, even though it's spelled J, capital J-E, W-S, capital J-E-W-S, two different words. That's why you got to go into the Hebrew to get a better understanding. For the fear of the Jews, or Yahweh, fell upon them. So now let me pull out some words. Now, this is when the Babylonians were taken down, and the Persians and the Medes came in, and they had 127 provinces. So you can understand a province is like a state. The United States has 50 states or 50 provinces. Well, this kingdom had 127 provinces. So every city and every province. It said the Jews. Here's a root right here. So right here is La Yahawada Yum, which means like two of the Judites. This makes it plural, the Yum. So right here it says, this is the actual word, Yahweh Daya, which means Yahweh meaning Judite. But it should be Yahweh Yum, which is Judite, so you can understand. So keep in mind Yahweh, right? Then you got these people that call themselves keeping the laws. Became Jews. So what does it say here? It says Yahud. Now, when you look that word up, Yahud is not the tribe of Judah. Yahud, to become a Jew, in fact, or in fraud, become Judaized. And that word is only found in the scriptures one time. So it's not, so when it said they became Jews, meaning they kept the laws, statutes, and commandments. Go back to Second Kings 17, around about the 20th verse on down. In the land of Samaria, they put the other nations up in there. And the Most High sent lions among them, and they realized, well, you ain't keeping the laws of the land, even though you're not the people. The Most High requires the other nations to keep the laws of the Most High. Because what's going to happen in the kingdom? What is that? Is it Micah 4:2 and Isaiah 2:2? What does it say? That we're going to teach some other nations. So you Christians don't go deep. You don't go deep. That's why when you come up and you see it says right here, it says Jews, they became Jews. That means they're just like y'all, even though they're not. That means they were following the laws. And the kingdom of heaven These other nations are going to be forced to follow the laws, but that's not going to make them Israelites. And they're not going to get this blessing of Israel in the kingdom. And you Christians are getting easier and easier and easier. That's why you send guys that have went to theological cemeteries. And vocab Malone is easy work, easy work. You know what? Yeah, I got so many precepts here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna finish this on the street, man. Let me just see what's. Let me just go to some of these videos here, just to see what's happening. Let me come over here. Okay, see what's going on. Okay, you got Minister Wellness. He's on the Israelite tip now, which is cool. He wasn't on that a while back. He just was into the dietary stuff, the G bombs. But the Sabbath is wrong. Today is not the Sabbath. The Sabbath is based upon the new moon. And see, that's the difference between us and these other Israelites. They all say Friday sundown and Saturday sundown is the Sabbath, except for Sakari. Sakari is the only other group that, and Men of Valor. Yeah, this is time for this motherfucker to be taken out. It was redacted. You might be eating Bill Gates lab grown meat tonight. They're giving you shit that's not even real food. It's time for this devil to go down, man. Gotta read this. The money, watch this. The money GPS. The Fed just publicly shocked everyone. More pain coming. You know, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So this whole world is in mourning. The Lord resists the proud. I gotta watch this. The Fed is officially pivoting. I gotta watch these minority mindset. I was watching this earlier when the brother, the elder out there in merry old England. Yeah, a lot of things are happening, man. You miss a day, you miss a lot. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna do the rest of this, uh, deal with this subject, um, destruction on the highways and the byways, Lord willing, Lord willing. Like I said, I put a bunch of precepts together, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.